A spark snapped, splitting the night. Then, an explosion, sharp and electric, ricocheted through the quiet. And after that, the most satisfying wail I'd ever heard drifted over the fence. Vanessa Reed, my neighbor with a taste for drama and designer knockoffs, shrieking as if her precious boots had gone up in flames. In truth, it was her son's ATV charger that caught fire. And in truth, she had it coming. You don't siphon power from an electrical engineer and expect to walk away unscathed. Not after I warned her. Not after the HOA shrugged me off. And definitely not after she laughed in my face, "It's just a little juice. Relax." Oh, I relaxed. I relaxed by turning her backyard into a lightning show, her beloved ATV the main course on the grill. But let's rewind. You need the whole story, how this little symphony of sparks came to be. Because it didn't begin with fire. It started with a flicker, a blip on my energy monitor. I'm Ethan Carter. Not just a guy with a grudge and a wrench. I design power grids for a living. Electricity is my element. So when my solar inverter flagged a strange drain in the dead of night, I noticed. Most wouldn't. But I'm wired to notice. I live in a neighborhood where the biggest excitement is a new brand of mulch. I keep to myself, tuning my home system, tracking every anomaly. That week, I saw it, every night, between 1 and 3 a.m., a 1.88 kilowatt-hour dip. Not the AC. Not the hot tub. Not my backup battery. Something was leaching power. And I had a suspect, Vanessa, the queen of boundary violations. You know the type. Sunglasses too big for her face, voice that could shatter glass, allergic to the word no. She'd moved in after her divorce, trailing chaos and HOA loopholes behind her. She made up rules, enforced them with a smile, and wielded the HOA like a weapon. Her latest obsession, an electric ATV for her teenage son. Loud, garish, and always hungry for a charge. The first clue came while I was trimming the hedge, a yellow extension cord, snaking over my fence, disappearing behind my shed. No way, I thought. I don't have an outlet back there. Unless, she wouldn't. That night, I shut off every outdoor breaker but one. Next morning, the log showed a dip at 2:12 a.m. The cord was gone, reeled back over the fence. I snapped photos. Time for a conversation. I rang her bell, calm, hoping for a misunderstanding. She answered in leggings and a sun hat, smoothie in hand, every inch the suburban empress. I mentioned the power drain, asked if her son had plugged into my supply. She grinned. Oh, that? Yeah, we borrowed a little charge. Our garage panels busted. You've got solar, right? You won't even notice. I told her, that's not how it works. It's theft. It messes with my system. She patted my arm. Chill, tech guy. It's not like we're stealing your car. I left, seething, mind already racing. I reported her to the HOA. They promised to look into it. 3 days later, I got a letter. Warning me about hostile neighbor conduct and unsafe fence modifications. Vanessa had flipped the script, claiming I'd set traps to shock her family. I was stunned. She'd plugged into my world. Game on. She had no idea who she'd provoked. I've built backup grids for hospitals out of nothing but wire and caffeine. She thought I was just a nerd with solar panels. She didn't know I could turn her joyride into a bonfire. That night, I drew up a plan, a decoy outlet, perfectly legal, perfectly safe, but merciless to greedy chargers. I installed it on my side of the fence, made it look forgotten, wired it to a surge circuit. Anything pulling more than 3 amps would get fried. My house was safe. Her ATV charger was doomed. 3 nights later, the cord was back. At 2:17 a.m., my monitor spiked. A blue flash lit up the shed. A pop echoed. And Vanessa's scream tore through the darkness. Her son, pajama-clad, bolted outside, staring at his smoldering ATV. I grinned, thin and wide. This was just the beginning. Morning came. Vanessa stomped around, shouting about sabotage, calling every official she could. I sipped my coffee, watching from the window. The cord disappeared. The ATV, now a crime scene, was hidden under a tarp. But she didn't stop. She escalated. The HOA sent Miles, clipboard in hand, shoes too clean for real work. You can't rig outlets on shared lines, he barked, quoting rules Vanessa had twisted. I explained, my property, up to code. I didn't mention the surge trap. Safe for people, deadly for thieves. He scribbled notes, muttering about reviews. I offered him a muffin. He declined. She pushed harder, so I pushed back, precise, not petty. I upgraded the trap, hid a data logger in a birdhouse, set it to alert my phone and trigger a surge if the draw spiked. Cameras watched the shed, her yard, the fence, everything backed up to the cloud. I dangled the decoy cord, ready to fry if yanked. 4 nights later, 1:42 a.m., alert. 2.7 kWh drawn. Surge tripped. The feed showed a flash, a spark, the ATV coughing smoke. Her son yanked the cord, too late. Twice now, all on record. I took screenshots to the HOA. Clara at the desk stared, wide-eyed. She plugged in without asking. Twice. Check Section 8B, utility theft, I said. She frowned. Vanessa had friends in high places. Maybe remove your outlets to de-escalate, she suggested. Clara, this HOA fines people for mailbox paint, but ignores theft. I could go off-grid for months. I don't need your rules. Enforce them, or I'm going to the city. She blanched.